Pew, 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 pew.
Alright, well.
Welcome back to
The
Your Mom's a
No
Bitch.
Name Podcast.
Hey, that's a little fart, let's go. No, for real though. Fucking Don't Need Podcast, man.
No Name Podcast.
Best place on earth.
Back to the No Name Podcast.
Alright. So, CBC. Fucking 5M.
Yeah, what about it?
Could've been better.
Gone.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
Could have. Could have.
I mean, it was fun for about the first week, not gonna lie. I can say I had fun.
I mean, I'm gonna be just fully honest. I never had intentions of rejoining CVC. Even the 5M server. The only reason why I did was because of Slush. He recommended me just join it back again and see how I felt about it. So I took him up on his offer. And actually liked it for, the first month and a half before everything just went bad with all the civilians leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else you guys felt about it. I know that, Tesco, you were a fire and EMS, but
The Fire EMS, actually.
the only fire and EMS for a good month and a half.
Yep.
And it's probably one of my worst experiences with Fire EMS.
I believe everything just it went. I had a little bit more to go off of since most of the people that left were my civilians.
Yeah, you were
And I
the
understand
civilian assistant or director, wasn't you?
assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Assistant. I never actually got to make it to director.
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, so it's alright though. Moving on forward, bigger and better things.
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're all in a better place than CVC.
I mean, we're not gonna obviously hit on CVC here, but I mean, I just feel like they were better off as an Xbox server.
Oh yeah, their Xbox server is amazing.
Well, yeah, I can't disagree with that. It's ran perfectly as what it should be.
It's honestly the only way
I
to
just
go
don't
for it
think-
as far as Xbox goes. But
Yeah,
as far
I
as
mean,
the
I
5M
believe,
side,
in my opinion, that they're the best Xbox server around, even beating, DOIJ and URP. No hate to any of those servers either. I mean, they're all ran differently, different staff, different owners, different management. But from what I've heard and other people experiencing different things, CVC is the way to go if you guys wanted an Xbox RP server.
100%.
As much as I don't like that server anymore, the Xbox side is run really well.
Yeah, it's ran perfectly, almost perfectly. Where, it's still going to continue for many more years. I mean, have they almost been up for almost 4 years, correct? Almost three and a half years?
It was
Almost
like
four, I'm pretty
October
sure.
of 2017 or something?
I thought it was August.
I don't fucking know. Probably August.
Yeah,
It's
August
some
17th,
or A.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was August
I
17th.
mean, I feel like they kind of, I know that they didn't rush the 5M.
Oh, not at all.
I know back when they all said that they were going to start in the 5M server back in 2020. Everyone was a lot excited because it was, expanding CVC into bigger and better things.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like the second time they were, prepared for what they thought was going to happen. In my opinion.
Nope. They rushed.
Yeah,
I feel like with the second time they opened it, they didn't think it through fully. They could have made changes before they opened it, like as in the rules wise, because obviously when it comes to 5M, it's so much different than Xbox. So obviously things are gonna be different. You can't run a 5M server like you're gonna run an Xbox server. Otherwise, it's just gonna
and
fall
I can
apart
understand and I can understand where they're coming, be like, well, it's my server, I run it the way that I want. Yes, I agree with you, but
Look how that
also it's
turned
on a
out.
different it's a different platform, and it's not like Xbox where you only have, a limited amount of vehicles for even fire and EMS, SIBs and LEO to run in compared to 5M when you can have all these car packs that, cost hundreds of dollars. All the, everything basically, added on cars, stuff like that.
Yeah.
it's a whole different ball game when it comes to 5M. And I understand where they're coming from. It's hard to run a 5M server, especially when we lost like a good solid 75% of our members in literally less than 1 week. But I can understand where they're coming from and how it would be a lot easier if they just stuck to an Xbox server, which I agree with, and I'm happy for them that they're sticking back to their old roots before June of 2020.
Yeah, I feel like they should just keep their Xbox server up. I don't think they're going to bring out another 5M. If they did, it's not going to look good on them, because obviously that's the third time they would have opened it. And
Yeah.
both times it's fallen apart, so there's no point in opening
Well,
it back
it
up
didn't
and
fall
keeping it as an
apart the
Xbox server.
first time. The whole deal with Forgotten happened, and
Yeah.
it was running really well, apparently, according to a couple of from the first time 5M members. And then the whole Forgotten deal came, and everybody knows about that and how that went. Because a lot of people were affected by it, and I still feel bad about what happened with how people were treating, CVC and how CVC was affected by it, because I feel like it was one of their lowest points in their server's history. I mean, no offense. I mean, I can't really talk about, staying with them since, I jumped on the bandwagon stupidly, but a lot of people did jump on that bandwagon because of the lies and stuff that people were saying, which, I mean, depending on how, knowing how they're still like, a thing, but they're, not going after friggin' CVC anymore, it's kind of good, it relieves a lot of stress from a lot of the people that were being affected by it when it was a thing. I mean, I know, Tesco, you only joined Forgotten for a couple of days, not even.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
No.
They somehow pulled it off for the first month or two. They
it was a good
managed
solid
to get full servers.
I guess they're still up.
Yeah,
they're still up.
I'm not sure what their numbers are looking like, but
but apparently, well, right after their month anniversary, it started to fall down when Plex put out the video of him going after Pugin, but we're getting off track with going after Forgotten, which we have no reason to. But
yeah,
I feel like there are better servers out there for 5M that everyone can go to. I mean, most of the 5M people are going to different servers, up and coming servers that are just opening or just going to be whitelisted, which is good. Just good, that expands their horizon. I know that I will be going as Fire and EMS for the first time ever, so I mean that's brightening my horizon. From being a civ for almost over a year and a half of being a civilian.
Able to do what I've always wanted to become the chief for words for the first time. It's going fine already.
With your experience and what I've seen, I mean, hopefully that they understand that you are their fit.
Yeah.
Which I mean, for now, I mean, from the week that almost the week that we've been in there.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Working
I like the server for now. It's gonna see how it goes, because they are whitelisting it soon. So hopefully, then they can more members can become more active in that server. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, then obviously we'll just find another server. I mean, there are a couple new ones in development that I've been talking to a couple of people about.
Yep. New DRP. That looks pretty good from what I've heard.
I'm looking into it.
There's another one.
Personally.
There's another one. I mean, I thought I believe New Day RP is Muppet server as well.
I don't believe I don't think he.
I think he's on board of directors in it.
I have no idea, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I know it's a they're coming out from a what was it, a Red Dead server?
Yeah, no, I've seen about that.
I looked at the application process, everything looked fine.
I mean, it looked almost exactly like DOJ, is how it's so professional.
Yeah, but actually, speaking of GOJ, one of my buddies who was in there said that I guess a lot of the developers left and went over and started their own server. Oceanside, I think is what it was called.
Oh, Oceanside?
Yeah. I don't know. the application process is a lot shorter. So it's I don't know. They only have 2 departments as of now. I don't know. I might have to look into that more.
Yeah, maybe.
If this server doesn't work out, probably I might go to that one or New Day, but I'm not old enough to go to that one yet. But
Yeah.
you know the new server
Yeah,
that they just come out with Hypers and Nuclear, the Night Watch
yeah.
server?
Night Watch RP or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks alright for now.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of people in there.
I mean, there's a lot of people that we used to roll. Well, most of those people that are in there are actually my civilians. So.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in there. Like, what's his name? Chris is in there. Nuclear.
All of our
Sam the Man.
all of our ex developers are in there.
Yeah, they got 3 or 4 developers in there now, so the development side of it should be fine.
With also Hypers being a part of it too. So.
Hypers is a part of it.
I believe
Hypers
Hypers is
is,
the
yes.
founder, though.
He's a what?
But I
I'm
don't-
not completely sure. I haven't done as much research as, like, normal people should. But I know I got a DM from one of my closer friends that got banned from CVC. But he was like, "Hey, if you wanted to, join this, I mean, you could. You're more than happy to. We'll be whitelisting soon." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll look into it."
Yeah, I'm
I
definitely.
mean, if the server doesn't work out, I might be going out there, but I don't know if I'll be joining New Day or anything like that. Just so I
Yeah.
can stay connected with closer friends that I have.
Yeah.
Just so I'm not, in a freaking completely new server where I feel like I'm outed.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like that server it will run. I feel like Night Watch will run well just because of the amount of developers they've got. Everyone knows each other in there.
Well, hopefully that's going to be under decent management as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what their roles are, as in for people-wise, but hopefully it's ran better than other servers. Because I know that there's a lot of unwhitelisted servers that have, 9-year-old admins and shit.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that, get put on freaking YouTube for being terrible.
Yeah, you need.
Well,
to
yeah.
see
I mean, when you have a 9-year-old admin that's fucking still in 5th grade, you got the
well,
5th grade mind in
yeah.
there.
I mean, it's kind of funny, though. It's like, he goes to elementary school the next day and be like, "Yeah, I banned some kid for RDMing." The freaking, their whole classroom is probably so confused.
Yeah,
Like, what's RDMing?
I got in a vehicle for shooting, killed 4 people.
Yeah,
I
Mom.
can just imagine.
I
I
need
can
to
only
see-
imagine, some, 9-year-old, because there are 9-year-old people that go out and roleplay. I don't know why they're
Oh,
in
yeah.
the game, I mean. But apparently they just have, parents that just don't care.
I think
Or they
Tesco
don't understand.
just ran into one like yesterday or the day before on 5PD.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
kinda funny.
Dude.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah, I
that was a
remember
funny
that.
experience. Some
Yeah,
9-year-olds.
but I just find
trying
it
to
funny,
play.
though, because I can only imagine what they're telling their friends at school the next day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, depends on where they live as well, because you know how freaking restrictions are with COVID and shit. But I can just only imagine. They're like, "Hey guys,
Like
I pulled over this one kid that was going 75 and a 50.
You just
I
shot
gave
me in
him
the
a
face.
speeding ticket. I gave him a speeding infraction. Like they know what the word infraction means.
Speaking
Man.
of infraction.
I can just picture some 9-year-old kid on at his brother's little setup and fucking
I can
just
only
sitting there
imagine
screaming
what,
in the middle of a scene.
and it's kind of funny how spoiled some of these kids are nowadays. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the kids that are, having freaking, beefy setups that have, Ryzen 7, 3600
They got better fucking PCs than I do.
2060.
Fucking
2060 Super, 2070, 2080, maybe even some that, have 3080s, 3090s because their parents just don't understand the value of money. And they're like, "Here, I'll give you the best thing so, you can run it at, 60 FPS because you have a 60 FPS monitor."
Oh, nah.
Like,
I don't know.
no
Kids
hate to
like
the people
those
that
have
actually
those
care
PCs.
about, building PCs and stuff. I mean, I want to build a PC soon. But, with the current GPU market and stuff, it's just hard.
yeah.
A freaking 2060 that usually goes for, around 500, 400, 500 bucks is freaking 700. A new
$700.
$700. That for a 580, a Radeon 580.
I know.
Ones from 2017. Yeah, those are going for about 700.
I know
too.
people who their budget for a PC is $500, let alone $700 for the
My
fucking.
budget for a PC as of right now, it's between 1,200 and 1,300
Yeah.
for mine, and depending on how much I get back in tax returns this year, I will be getting a PC whenever that happens, which I have no idea because of all the friggin' stimulus checks that are going out.
We're not going out.
So, I'm stuck right now with what I have for my setup, but I can make it work until then.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but it's fine. I've dealt with it in the past, and I'll still deal with it now.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Other
of,
than that, there are a lot of, very, 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 very spoiled kids out there
oh,
that,
yeah.
that are 12,
Especially the
13
Fortnite
years
kids.
old. Oh my god, yes. The Fortnite kids, yes. The Fortnite, all of them just are spoiled. I just feel like, there's 12, 13-year-olds out there that have $1,500 gaming laptops and, the freaking new Series X's, and they don't even use the gaming laptop for nothing but school. Like, it's kind of messed up at the speak that... And then it's funny how they just want to gloat and just be like, yeah, well, I have better specs than you when you don't even understand what specs are.
See, the problem is with these kids now growing up with these computers. What's going to be for them in the future? I don't think PCs and like actual good games are going to be coming out for a lot of years. If you know what I mean, like there's some
I just
games
feel like
that
because of all these kids now that are gonna get decently good stuff now. I just feel like they're just gonna be when they eventually get something that doesn't run the right way. They're just gonna be ungrateful and be like, oh, I spent so much money on this and it can't do this and this, but it's better technology.
Yeah.
The kids that don't understand the reason, like let's just say, give them 32 gigs of freaking let's just say 2600 megahertz RAM. You give them something like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is great, 32 gigs," because they see the only 32 gigs part. They don't understand, about megahertz and how it's supposed to run. Then they give them something like, let's just say 16 gigs of 4600 megahertz RAM, which is better than 32, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no idea about anything
And then
PC, to be honest.
Then they're going to be ungrateful because they went from 16. Well, they went from 32 to 16, but they're better because it's faster. Like that's like an example that I feel like is going to happen in the close future. I can't really speak. I have 8 gigs of RAM on my system right now, but I'm making the best out of what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be getting a PC, like a new one, or upgrading it hopefully soon.
It'll be easier to it's going to be less expensive to upgrade it. What you need is a better processor, correct?
Yeah, that's all I need, really. And more storage.
Oh yeah, well that you could just get. Does your motherboard support NVMe, M.2?
DDR, I think. I'll have to double check that one.
Well, there should be an M.2 slot if it supports it. Because if then you could just get a 2 terabyte NVMe M.2 SSD from Samsung, and it'll be perfectly fine, and then you'll have plenty of storage to run anything.
I don't know. Y'all are talking all gibberish to me right now, to be honest.
So you look at
I
this.
don't know, man.
An AMD Ryzen 7 3800X processor.
How the hell did we start talking about this? Hang on a second now.
It's not as expensive as you think it is, though. It's pretty good.
Well, because if we continue on one topic, it's going to be like repeating itself. Oh yeah, well this, that,
Yeah, well,
getting different topic.
Getting like way off topic. My cat just jumped through my wall.
Wait, what?
My cat put a hole in my wall, like a week ago, and he just jumped through it.
Well, there it is. There we have it.
You
has
crazy.
an insane cat.
That's an insane cat. There it is.
Yeah.
If we're going off of insane animals, I think my dog thinks he's a lion.
Your dog thinks he's a
Why
lion?
do you say that?
Yeah. He always sits there with his like sits loud and proud and just growls, staring at nothing.
Does he like lay down with his paws crossed and sit?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
does it all the time. He's such a weird dog.
My dog used to do sit like that too, and he would like get up on desks and sit like he's a dog, or not a dog but a cat. You know what I mean? Like how the cat's like, yeah. He would just sit like that. I'm like, what are you doing? You're a dog. And then like,
Yeah.
I was a nuts one. My dog, like, I went down to go get some food at like 1 o'clock in the morning. My dog followed me downstairs, and I turned around and he sat there with like his paws are flat on the floor, but his back legs are just moving him. And he's like on his side, his face is on the side on the floor, and he's just walking around with his face dragging across the floor. And I'm looking at him like, what are you doing?
Fucking UK
Some-
dogs.
Dogs are nuts, man. They're weird. So I thought cats were nuts for jumping up and down tall places, but no.
You
So-
thought
well,
cats were weird from
so-
jumping up and down small places.
Yeah.
Big
So
places.
moving on to our next topic. I mean, let's just
Yeah.
share a little bit of what happened during CBC's 5M. Nothing to shit on them or anything. Just experience, how we
Well-
feel. So whoever wants to start, we could. We can go and we can obviously talk about experiences as well.
I know for
So whoever wants to go, they can.
for
Just
pro-
how, just basically sharing what happened, what like our process was of through 5M and how we got back to CVC's 5M. Like I said, like I got it through one of my friends.
well, sharing is caring there, Hike. So, fuck, I was in the Xbox server for probably about a month, and then they announced 5M was coming. So I'm like, man, that sounds really fun. I'm like, I don't have a PC, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a PC. So I went and got a PC, and then I filled out my little platform transfer request thing, got approved, joined the server. At that time there was like 4 cadets. I joined the highway patrol. There was 2 cadets, 2 troopers, including 4 cadets, 2 troopers, including myself as a trooper. For about the first month, it was just dropped my mouse on the floor. It was pretty much just us doing what we had to do. I don't think we ever did get our code of conduct. We had like the basic one as far as like weapons and everything goes.
I don't think they finished their
I guess-
vehicle conduct.
No. So we were pretty much allowed to drive whatever we wanted, which was nice. We ended up the cadets started getting antsy, wanted to get trained and everything, but there was only one supervisor, but he was always busy. He was never like available.
Yeah.
So after probably, I would say a week, I put like a little rant thing in the HP chat, and then probably like 20 minutes later, I got put in a group chat, and next thing I know, troopers are allowed to host trainings. I would assume that the the other trooper that was also complaining about it would have helped with the trainings, but he didn't do shit. So it was just me hosting trainings after that. I ended up getting one cadet all of his trainings done, but I don't think he ever got promoted.
I can fully agree. I can fully understand where you're coming from. I mean, it is frustrating. I mean, coming from my standpoint, me joining the server back on the 16th, I think a day after it opened. I wanted to get an interview done the day it opened, but I wasn't available on that Friday. So on the Saturday, I got the interview and got into the main server, and I think less than a week later, I became civilian assistant again with Firebomb. And for the first good solid month-ish, we were perfectly fine. Our department was running really well, other than we only had probations because people weren't getting on to get their trainings or RPs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
So
was
what
another thing with cops. It's fucking
Yeah.
the probations. There was no felonies going on. There was like one Firebomb was the only person that was allowed to do a felony.
Civilian rank 1.
So if he wasn't on, RP was non-existent almost.
No, it was. I mean, we were. I always told my civilians during our briefings to try at least get as many misdemeanor and infraction teams done, so they give the cops different ones, make sure that your guys are reading through the penal codes and stuff like that. But most of them didn't care and didn't want to listen.
Yeah.
I know that when we first got our fresh batch of probations from the recruitment server, I felt like their first night we were already gonna have a problem, because they kept harassing our in-RP characters, doing somewhat unlegit shit, but I didn't really get them for it. I talked to them about it because, it was their first night. You're not going to strike someone or give them anything for their first night in RP. Then it just kept getting worse and worse until we promoted. And then they finally, got let go, if you know what I'm talking about. Both of them.
Yeah.
And then we finally were able to get people up to civilian rank 1, where, we'd at least have, 4, 5, 6 civilians on a night. At that point, we were having 6, 7, so RP was lasting until
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
That was
And-
honestly fun. Like that's the part I loved.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, I loved it when I was available to stay up that long, and I did. Because when I got promoted, I used to wait, let everyone else do their felonies, right? Just so the cops, would think, oh, well, all civs did their felonies. It's literally just going to be all misdemeanors and infractions, and then I come out with, big scene. And the cops like it, which, I mean, I've talked to a lot of cops, and they said that some of my scenes were topping, any of the other higher up civ scenes. And one time, this was when after everyone left, I was the only civ on one time because every other civ was busy or just didn't want to get on. And I did, I think, 4 or 5 or 6 scenes, and then my felony. And every single cop loved those scenes, even though it was just one person. I kept switching through my backgrounds. So I gave them, different scenes in different areas for them to enjoy for RP, and then we got that RP, and then that was basically our last RP in the server before it sadly shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't lie. I mean, I agree with most of why they're shutting down. Obviously, it's confidential and why they did, but I can agree on most of their reasoning for shutting down. Can't really disagree. They're going, problems and shit.
Yeah, I don't blame them at all for shutting down.
I don't either. I mean,
to be honest, they lost
it was really good though until it was really good until all of the civilians left, and then I felt like it was just going to go even more downhill.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I'm not saying that I was prepared for it. I mean, I was telling Tesco about it. I think 2-3 days late before it was announced that I felt like it was going to get shut down soon. I just didn't know when.
Oh yeah, we all knew it was gonna shut down.
If I'm being honest with you, I
All
wasn't
of us did.
expecting it to shut down per se. I wasn't expecting it to do anything, to be honest. I was expecting it to just be like that and end up just eventually everybody would just
Picking
gone
back up
or
picking back up.
yeah.
But with a lot of things is we've all done research about it, and a lot of people are starting to get out of role plays in general.
Oh yeah.
And just RP in general. I mean, a lot of people are growing up. I mean, it's going to be our next generation of role players that are coming in now that are turning 13, 14 years of age. I mean, all of us did grow up watching, Polecat, Bugs, and Jeff. I mean, it's where I got my start wanted to RP.
Yeah.
I can most likely, everyone can agree in this chat right now that that's where we started. Or just other RPers other than, the main DOJ people. Because that's where I got my start from. Who influenced me to, become a person that likes GTA RP. So, I mean, most likely it'll be revised when GTA 6 ever decides to come out and be released. Obviously, because there'll be new content for people. If it does, yeah. I mean, Rockstar is milking the hell out of GTA right now. Or GTA 5.
Honestly,
speaking from the fact that this is a, almost an 8-year-old game. Actually, I think, yeah, an 8-year-old game that has been through 3 different consoles.
Honestly,
from the original 360 to the Series X. I mean, actually, maybe even 4 consoles.
I believe it was the 3, unless you consider the X and S and everything. Then it's 5 or 6.
No, I'm talking. Well, I'm talking about. So basically, I think what they're talking about is generations of new consoles.
Oh yeah, if we're just talking about like next gen consoles, it was the 360 and then or PS3.
The 1.
Or yeah.
And the 1 and the 4, and then the Series X and the 5, and then the Series S as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gone through three different consoles with the same game, and they've overhyped a lot of the updates. I mean, this last heist was supposed to be, you know, the biggest update for GTA, and it became out to be one of the worst.
I had
in
fun.
my
I had
opinion.
fun with it for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird because
Then I
it was kind of
finished the
funny
heist.
because my PC account got freaking modded, and I bought every single vehicle in the heist at the time, and
Oh.
just kept using it like the freaking submarine.
Mhm.
Kept using the homing missiles and trolled people. It was kind of funny, especially on PC where you have the text chat, so you can just read when people are angry. It's hilarious.
Yep.
I mean, I remember using the homing missiles, ruining someone's 1v1 because they were bullying a kid.
Sounds
I
about
was
Yeah.
right.
like one of those people.
I don't know. It was all right when it first came out. I feel like the heist was pretty good in my opinion. I like the heist, but it was just they said that you was going to be able to go to it, and before
Yeah.
even that, they said they were going to bring out Cops versus Crooks, which didn't even happen. They decided to switch it over to Cayo Perico, which in my words now, there's literally no one who actually needs money in GTA, and there's glitches come out left, right, and center.
Oh yeah.
There's so
The-
many heists you can do.
The-
You can literally win 2.5 million on a slot machine. You can, you know, basically do whatever you want in GTA now. There's glitches, mods, all that type of stuff. And then
Yeah, but apparently, GTA has updated their terms of service. That I've also read this. Also, this is actually like legit put into the terms of service now. If you are caught, you know, doing either glitches or hacking that gives you a competitive advantage against anybody, money wise or anything like that, they can. In their terms of service, it says they can legally sue you or go after you in court. I don't know why they put that out there, but it is in their terms of service now, I believe.
It's to scare people because they're like money. They want people to buy SAR cards.
Yeah, they're just money. It's money.
yeah, they
Honestly-
can't sue you just for doing glitches. I don't think.
I know, but it is in their terms of service. That's what I'm saying. I think it was added most likely recently as well.
I don't know. I know that all the people that are rich or that are going to be rich in GTA are rich. Everybody that has money in GTA is going to have money. Everybody that doesn't have money, it's been 8 years, you're not going to get money.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
You know, I've been
They're just
playing
going to continue
GTA
to
on
buy
PC
SAR cards
for
and
almost a year now. So I mean,
yeah. They're just going to continue to buy SAR cards to buy the new cars and everything, and then that's what GTA likes. Fucking Rockstar
it's
likes.
most likely going to be, you know, the younger kids asking their parents to.
Yeah.
I remember because when I started playing the game, you know, I was most likely 8 years old when it came out.
So I started playing the
I'm
game.
almost 18.
I started playing the game probably 2014.
I think I started playing the release date. Like I started playing GTA Online when GTA Online was released.
So the first up until I got my Xbox One, which was it took probably up until 2017. I had no internet, so I was just playing on the Xbox 360 story mode with my brother.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get the pleasure of playing like online. So I'm like, then I got online. I'm like, this is like an entirely different GTA because GTA started dying out for me, you know, because Michael Franklin and Trevor gets old after a while, like not doing anything with anybody else. So you're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
and then once this whole new opportunity like presents itself to you where you can like go rob a fucking bank and go steal drugs for Trevor and.
Yeah, I know. I remember before, you know, I got Xbox Live and stuff. I actually got GTA, and I think I finished the campaign on the 360 like 8 times.
Yep.
Just redoing it over and over again, just challenging myself. And then when I got to the one, and I redid the campaign on there, I did it all in first person.
I know. On the 360, I kept redoing the story mode, but I would not spend a single dime up until I did the last heist, just to see if I would get just to see how much money I could actually get, because I wanted to buy I don't remember what the fuck it was, but it was I wanted to buy a fucking that movie theater that fucking Michael could buy, like the big ass one. But every time
the one that's like 50 million.
yeah, but every time I would go to buy it, but every time I would go to buy it, I didn't have enough money, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna redo this heist, but I'm not gonna spend any money. That's gonna be the first thing I buy. And I also wanted to buy the fucking country club or the golf course, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that's like
Yeah.
150 million.
Yeah, that's the one I was
ended up
thinking of.
buying that one. I ended up buying that one because you know those like websites you could use. You put money into it and then it like you could get money back from it.
No, I was 12.
It's not a lot.
Oh, the stocks?
Yeah, the stock thing.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do those, and I remember I put something into like a taxi business. Like I put like I think it was like 12 million, and I ended up getting like 400 million out of it. I was like, what?
This man invested in the stock market and came out on top.
Yeah, and here's a good thing. And here's the thing that if most people never understood, is that if you invested in like Moore's Mutual and stuff like that, or Life Invader, or
The thing
Moore's
that would
Mutual,
get more money, the most money.
if you get more, if you do put everything that you have in Moore's Mutual, and then go around and blowing up cars, it raises it up, and then you could sell it for a profit.
Yeah.
I've seen that you can do that because I've done that before.
I almost wish that you could fucking invest in the stock market online. I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah, I feel like that'd bring a whole different like thing into GTA Online.
Be a
Yeah,
criminal.
but then you just have those fucking little twats who would find a way to exploit it and just get billions from it.
Well, yeah,
Well,
they
I
do the
mean,
same thing with
remember
the casino, though.
Remember the chip glitch?
Mm.
The chip glitch where you get billions of dollars in like matter of 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And then remember the freaking apartment glitch 2.0?
Mm.
Yeah? How that basically got everyone banned except like a select few?
I didn't do that one because I saw that coming. I remember doing the Lester glitch where you would, like, the AFK Lester glitch where you would go to the hangar and just chill there.
Yeah.
I remember just leaving my controller, like,
Oh, I
on
did that
loop
one.
while I go to work, and I come back with, like, $12 million. I'm like, okay, I spent it all at once. And then my buddy
Yeah, that's
didn't...
what I
my
did the apartment glitch.
Yeah.
I think I did that for like 2 days and got freaking almost 100 million out of it. Spent
Yeah.
it all on everything, and I think I still have. I think if I were to go on my Xbox right now, I still have probably 12 million left.
Probably.
I mean, I used to be the one that was into duplication glitches where it would sell like the freaking issies.
Yeah. My brother
Those
is...
ones, I think I still have a full garage full of freaking issy classics that are the Future Shock ones, the ones that sell for almost 4 million.
I used to, yeah, I remember that. I done the Leicester one, and when you could like duplicate the Izzy shocks because you could sell like 10 of them a day, and I made so much money.
It
off
was
of
like, mine the issy classics because I was dupe protected at one point. Because at one point I kept selling them with the exact same plate, and then I started to make custom plates for them, so I wouldn't get dupe detected.
Yeah,
and
that's what
I
you
was
have
selling
to
about 6 or 7 a day. I was selling 6 or 7 a day, so I'd make about 10 million a day. Well, 10 million every 30 hours,
do. Yeah.
and
That's a lot of money.
funny 'cause this was back when I was in the CBC Xbox server, and I think every day I'd be coming with different vehicles that I never had, and they're like, "How are you getting all this money?" And I'd tell them how I was making it, and then they wanted to start doing it. I remember at one point I had, I think, 4 or 5 people doing the duplication glitch at one point within the summer period. Well, before Forgotten.
Yep.
I think I had 4 or 5 people doing duplication glitches, getting crap ton of money to buy for RP vehicles. That's all I really spent it on was RP vehicles, or just
Yeah,
random
that's what I
vehicles
did.
that I wanted.
I think I did the glitch with you a couple of times. I know I did it a lot with
you did.
Zipped and somebody else.
You did. I showed you a couple of glitches because you and Sobos did them too. I remember before you got banned.
I had like, I think I ended out with like 100 million. I just spent
Yeah,
loads of my money on cars. 10 days of just selling cars for straight 10 million.
I remember I
10, 12 million, wasn't it?
I had a full office garage full of issies.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had 20 issies
I bought like
in one garage.
bought every apartment you could buy, the best of the warehouses, hangars, all that type of stuff. I bought all the best of everything just because I could.
And then you'd get the message, hey, so and so, this is going to happen. A large band wave is going on, and then you would hope to God that you weren't detected during the
Yeah, I never got detected
wave.
for any of it. I got
I
away
never
with
did.
Yeah.
I got dupe detected. I've gotten dupe detected before, but I've never gotten my account shut down like that. Like reset, like hard
never
reset.
Yeah, I've never got. But I mean, the one time you remember when they figured out the Leicester glitch,
Yeah.
and then they ended up wiping people's account. I got all my money wiped. I just had to start back on zero.
I was smart about that actually. I spent all my money at once, like right after I got it. So I got
Yeah,
to
that's
keep
what I
all my
used to do
shit.
with the apartment glitch.
I had the best apartment in the game. I had the Kanjali tank fully upgraded. I bought an Avenger.
See, I did
That's what
I
I
did
had
that.
as
Like
well.
I bought loads of things, but I guess they removed everything that I bought and just took away all my money. Completely.
Well, they can tell what you bought. They're smart about it. It's not like Rockstar is dumb.
I mean,
I think I spent all
They're
my money to
smart
the
when they
point where I
know it.
went
I
to
just was
zero.
probably one of the luckier ones that didn't get their account wiped during that whole ban, the whole money wiping shit. Because I know a lot of people in Forgotten that wanted just to be transferred departments because they lost everything, their level, everything. They
Yep.
wanted to transfer to dispatch. And like dispatch was blowing up with people.
I remember they did canceled RP and did like money grinding days.
Oh, I
It was-
remember that as well. Yeah.
hmm
It was kind of stupid because I was like, well, why? When people, it's like it's RP, dog. Especially the cops. Like, why do the cops care? I
Exactly.
can understand the Civ side. I can understand where the Civs were going with that, but the cop side of things, they didn't need to transfer departments or do these things because their uniforms and everything weren't high of level.
Yeah.
Like that, I never understood. But the Civ side, yes, I can understand that. So whatever. That's past shit. It happened. GTA is still gonna be its freaking most unprotected freaking thing ever. They can ban as many people as they want, but they're still gonna have glitches and shit. I guarantee.
Well, it's not as
Like
bad as
that one
Warzone though.
the give cards to friends glitch has been going on since the casinos came out, right?
And yeah,
And it never has been patched.
the Act 2 that's been going on. Since,
Oh yeah, that's still going on. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, I think
What's your guys' favorite ever GTA update? Would you
I
say?
think personally, I think it was the one before this one.
The casino?
Just because we've had not the casino one. It was the summer update.
Oh yeah.
I believe that one was one of the best in my opinion because before then we didn't have a DLC in I think 2 years I think because of the casino heist.
Hmm.
And I think it just brought more content to the game.
Yeah.
I'd say mine easily was the facility. When the facility first came out, I
so
loved
the
that.
the Doomsday heist.
Yeah, I loved the Doomsday.
That one's a second for me. I remember hearing about it in 2017, 2018, whenever it came out in those 2
All
years.
the vehicles that came with it. It was a really
The
good
vehicles that came out, I loved that. I mean,
I like
just
when they
grinding out freaking the heist, trying to take out the guy was amazing. It was fun. I mean, I enjoyed that update.
Do you remember the glitch with the facility where you had to go into that room and sometimes the guy wouldn't follow you, so you just have to restart it over and over again?
Yep.
Yeah,
That was probably the most annoying thing I've ever dealt with in GTA.
I don't
And
think
I
I've
know
ever
Cracker
gotten
Max
that.
was annoying, but that was annoying.
I don't think I've ever experienced that glitch, but I've heard about it, and I think my cousin has, and I know he hated that.
Because you had to go so long killing all those people, then going up into the room, and then he just wouldn't follow you, and then you'd just be like, wow, what a waste of time.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best experience, but it was one of the better heists out there. I mean, I think the worst heist there is freaking the casino. I just feel like it takes the most out of you to get everything
Yeah.
set up for it, just to get 900,000.
It was fun for the first 3 times that I did it. To be honest, like I just after you did it,
I feel like the
Every
best,
different way.
I think the best one is the Doomsday one, and then second is probably the Cairo Perico heist.
Personally, I like the first set of heists.
Yeah, I do too because it wasn't
Pacific
just
Standard.
Like, just all of them. Like if you do them like all in order and everything, and
that's what I've done.
I just like doing it. Like if you have like your 4 friends to get on with, it's like the best.
Yeah, I know. I remember I was trying to do the criminal mastermind
Yep,
challenge,
I've-
and I was freaking. I
I did
actually
that.
did it. I did achieve it. It took us like 4 or 5 tries to do it, and I remember the last time we did it, we spent like a day. It was during the summer,
Uh huh.
and it was a day that I wasn't busy, and I was like, okay, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this done in one day. It was about 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're halfway through the Pacific Standard thing, and my friend's mom came into his room and was screaming at him, right, because he was up this late and he had to go do something the next day.
Mom, set
And we
up.
were like, come on.
Play the game.
I was like, come on, please don't get off, we're so close. And like he was like, all right, I'll get done, I just got to do this. And she was like, no, I'm gonna take the Xbox. So we got it right before, because she was like, if you're not done in 20 minutes or 15 minutes, we're taking this Xbox and I'm smashing it. We literally, it was like right when she got into the door, like to his door, we finished. It was probably the closest thing that we've ever done. And he was messaging me the other day, and he was like, "Dude, remember when this and this happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. How close were you to freaking getting your Xbox destroyed?" He was like, "Bro, my mom was pissed." I was like, I can't blame you.
When I stay up so late.
Well, yeah, but you basically run on EST time because of.
Yeah.
It's like I'm used to freaking. I mean,
always been a night owl.
when I get up, I mean, you're already halfway through your day. That's the funny thing.
No, when you get up, I'm still sleeping.
Oh yeah, that is true. No, but you know what I mean. It's probably about like 10, 12 o'clock for you.
Nice. 4:30 for me right now.
Yeah,
Only
it's
got-
half past 4. It's 11:30 for us right now.
Is it really?
I'm normally getting up at like fucking 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes.
I be.
It's just got nothing to do really.
I did that. I was doing that for a while back when I was like in the summer.
I remember back in April when we had that freaking 230-hour plus RP. Oh my god.
I wasn't here for
Tesco,
that. I wish I was.
You remember that? That was the worst. It was really good, but it also sucked. You remember
What?
that, right, Tesco?
The what now?
The 230-hour RP.
Oh yeah. No, I enjoyed that. I was just.
I heard there was like 1 or 2 like people just keeping it going until like more people got on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that's what happened.
I'm pretty sure one time it was me and Sean who were on for like 10 hours straight while we were waiting for people to get on.
Yep.
I
It was
remember
the
one
most
time.
boring thing in the fucking world.
I think it was our first night doing it. I was like one of the last people, like on. I think it was Sean Cloud and a couple of Sibs, right? Like 3 or 4 Sibs, and this was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like trying to like dodge my freaking dad because he's getting up for work, and I'm still up playing
That's
on
all
my
I had to do.
Xbox.
It was except I was getting up like 3 like for I think back then I was getting up like 5-6 o'clock in the afternoon. I wasn't going to bed till 7-8 o'clock in the morning. And my mum was just getting up for work, and she came into my room. She's like, "If you don't go to fucking bed, I'm gonna fucking smash that Xbox." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I think the first time my father caught me, it was at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and this was recently too. And
Oh.
we were just talking about random shit, right?
Mhm.
And like just in a chat, and I think I was a little bit too loud, and he was up, like he woke up for something and he heard me. He wasn't like overly mad at me because I didn't have school or anything the next day. He was like, just make sure that you're not loud. And I was like, cool. And I remember a couple of days, even more recently, I would be up until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and hear them and be like, oh crap. And I'd just go lay in bed and act like I was asleep, and then I'd pass out and not wake up until probably 12 o'clock.
I'll tell you now, staying up that long, the worst thing that you can hear, it's not your parents getting up, is the fucking bird chirping in the morning, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Ah, shit."
I didn't realize it was
I
this
feel
late.
this long.
Like,
I remember during the summer, I was helping one of my former friends out with the freaking Miss Baker missions. And
Oh, bro,
one time it took us, I think we started it at like 8 o'clock at night and we finished it at 6. and we stayed into a Discord call for like freaking almost 12 hours. And I was helping him, and he was gonna give up, and I'm like, dude, I'm not staying up this late to fucking help you. And after we got done, it was like 5:30 in the morning, and we were just messing around after that because we were freaking finally this is done.
So,
And I kept looking outside at the time, and it just kept getting lighter and lighter and lighter outside because this was during the summer, so it like turned brighter outside earlier, and I was like, oh my god, like this is. And then when I finally went to go and use the bathroom, my dad was like, "How'd you sleep?" And I was like, "Good." He's like, "I slept good." And then he walked into my room. He's like, "You're getting on the game already?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, yeah, sure. Definitely wasn't up for, all night.
does anybody remember the first time they fucking stayed up all night?
yeah.
Was up to see the fucking birds chirp.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I did. I think the first time I stayed up fully all night, and it was kind of funny. It was during the 230-hour RP. One of the nights I went to bed. Actually, no, and back then we actually had shifts.
Mm-hmm.
We had shifts,
Uh-huh.
and
And then what happened?
basically to sum it up, I was on the night shift for a couple of days, and I'd go from briefing until probably 7 o'clock in the morning without sleeping, and then I'd wait for somebody else because usually it'd only be one cop, one civ.
Mm-hmm.
And back then it wasn't really, known for, giving one cop a scene, so you guys would just be driving around.
Yeah.
And I know this one time there was one probation. I think I was a Civ 1 I was a Civ 1. And this one probation wanted to get Civ 1 so bad because he actually worked hard for it. And I was like, dude, you know what's going to make you look good? Just go around and do scenes. So at the time, Sobos was pushing us to spread out and do different scenes for cops. And we went around, we started 68 and just made our way around the whole map. Just doing random misdemeanor scenes. And all the cops enjoyed it, and literally the next day we got promoted to Civ 1.
That's nice.
It was pretty cool to help him out and get him to Civ 1. Because, it looks good for everyone. It looked good for me, and that's how I feel like I've gotten to where I am, just by helping other people out.
Yeah.
What would you say the most interesting scene you've ever done or been on was?
Oh, God. This is going to sound really bad for me, but the day that I got 2 server strikes, I got into a scene with a kid that got banned, right?
Oh, God.
He was banned because he was underage.
Oh.
I believe that's what it was. I think Pugin's already talked about this in a random message, in a different video that he made. But Slush actually gave me the idea for this one. And I grabbed I grabbed like 3 or 4 bottles of beer from the Yellow Jack. And I walked up to the guy. And, let's just say I broke the bottles and did something that I shouldn't have. That was it. It was one of the weirder experiences. Like, I can send you screenshots of what it is because I can't say it in here without freaking this thing being demonetized. But
What do you mean
let's just say
demonetized? I can't even get monetized.
well, I'm just saying it was bad. Here.
I think I've told you about this one, Hike, or both of you at this point. I remember when Lushbug was in the server, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Pugan, I was like, so what would happen if I was drunk in a actually drunk on and playing RP? You guys probably nothing, but obviously try not to say something stupid. So I remember that night Lushbug was recording, and because he knew I was gonna get drunk, so I got hammered. Right? I'm sat there fucking drunk out in my seat. I'm falling off everything, and then I walked up to Srogs, who was doing a Signal 11 on the side of the road, and I walked up to him and I started calling things I shouldn't have called him. I ended up getting 3 server strikes because of that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I said he was apparently when I said that he was a shit sheriff, I started saying stuff out of RP, calling him the worst head admin I've ever seen in my life. all that type of stuff.
God damn.
And then
What
I
was-
proceeded to
what
call
was-
him. I proceeded to call him a test tube baby and hope that he died of cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
I
you
got
did
to-
what
Yeah,
they
so
told
I
you not
sent-
to
I
do.
sent-
Yeah.
I sent you
He
the
let me off
screenshots
the
of
code.
what I did.
I was donked at my head.
So yeah, what's yours, Elliot? I know that you've mostly been a cop, but what's the weirdest scene that you've been a part of?
The weirdest scene that I've been a part of?
Mhm.
Man. Yeah, think about this one.
There's a lot of things that cops go through.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
There was a lot of weird ass shit.
But what's like one of the weirder ones?
So, I got called out to, was like a stabbing or something at the Flywheels. This was in the 5M server. And there was, ended up being a mountain lion there and 2 guys.
Oh.
So, the mountain lion just started going around. It was, the mountain lion was Firebomb. So,
Yeah, I
Fire,
remember this one.
yeah, Firebomb was like, started making fucking, like, actual fucking cat noises. Like, with his mouth, like, in game. He's like, meow. I'm like, alright, good kitty. I was just trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Shit was just weird. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head out. Man comes up to my tires as the cat, fucking slashes my tires, goes meow. I'm like, god damn it, cat. And then he just starts.
I remember that.
Then he just starts looking at me funny. I'm like, okay. And I pulled my gun out, and I'm like, you stay there, kitty. I don't want to shoot you. And then,
Jerry.
yep, Jerry. And then he walks away, goes into the hangar, grabs a fucking knife somehow. Fucking comes out with knife in hand. I'm like, where'd you get that, Jerry? And he's like, meow.
So in the Civ chat, he was like, I can't attack anyone because the mountain lion is bugged in the ped. Or the ped, so it's kind of bugged, so you can't really attack all the time with him.
Yeah.
So he was like, maybe if I hold a knife, maybe it would work.
That was the weirdest thing I have ever seen in my life. Like just the way he was holding the knife was interesting, definitely.
And the
But-
way they entered cars as well.
So, okay. So let's actually go on and move this to our like the worst scene that you were a part of.
The
Like,
worst
ever.
scene.
Oh.
Worst scene.
Like-
I'll go first with this one because I've gotten an interesting one.
Worst in what aspect,
So-
though?
As in like just the scene quality and how it performed,
All
and
right.
just the people how the people like responded to it.
All right.
So, first day out, so this is in the 5M server, obviously. This is the 5M server. So, our first night in RP as civilian rank 1s, we do our briefing. We give, the Civ 1s their deal. Be like, hey, don't fuck up, right? So, they understand, and we literally go, and this was with Nuclear and Bradley. We go out to the hangar, because it's his private property. He closed it down because of maintenance stuff. So, it's all legit. He all played it out legit. Closing down the airfield. And they start shooting like targets and stuff,
Oh God,
right?
I heard about this.
And I was in a car and I was just doing donuts around because it's private property and I'm allowed to. So I was just doing donuts. I wasn't shooting because at the time my character didn't have a gun. 3 or 4 police officers, or the highway patrol and all highway patrol actually, pulled up into the airfield. Guns drawn and everything. Both cadets had I think there was 3 cadets and there's 2 cadets and a trooper.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what it was. I'm not positive. I'm not fully sure.
Yeah, that's no, it would have been
And-
3 cadets and a trooper.
3 cadets and a trooper. And one of the cadets, got out of his car and started like leading the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't involved with it, right? So I got out of the way and moved out of the way because it wasn't me that was shooting. I wasn't associated with it. Of them shooting. I was with the group, but I wasn't shooting. So I stopped doing donuts and I moved out of the way into the side hangar and was just waiting. I seen a cadet go to the back of his trunk and pull out an AR.
That he wasn't supposed to have, by the way.
Like, what?
That he wasn't allowed to have, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I understand that because I actually messaged someone about it. That's the
Yeah.
cop, and I was like, "Well, is this so and so supposed to have a AR?" And he was like, "No." So I was like, "Oh, interesting. Well, this person does." And literally, he got both of the two people in custody while holding a long gun, basically to their heads.
Yep.
Like with the intention of shooting them in mind.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of messed up. And then he runs over to my car with the AR pointed at me as I'm parked. And I put my hands up and I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? I don't even have a gun. I wasn't even shooting. He has the AR pointed to my head as one of the other cadets was aiming at, it was cuffing me. And I'm like, you guys can search me all you want. You guys aren't going to find anything. This is corruption. What this, that, and the other thing. And then he puts his long gun away and he was acting all ballsy and shit. I was like, dude, if I had this was one of my main characters and I wasn't going to get him as a felony. But I was like, dude, if you were to even hurt me with that fucking AR, you would have had something coming for you. Because at this time I was developing my felony character, which was a guy it was an Australian guy that liked to throw snakes at cops.
Oh yeah.
So
I know that guy.
well, I might. And basically, he was like, "Oh, is that a threat? I'll get you for threatening a government official." And I'm like, "It's not a threat. It's a promise." You know, the typical fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he thought, I was like, "What's your rank?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a sergeant." I was like, "Cap."
He said he was a sergeant.
He said he was some higher up rank. I forgot. This was like 3-4 weeks ago.
What the fuck?
And then I remember recently when we actually had our mafia. This was probably one of the unlegitest freaking things at the time, because at the time we actually had blips and stuff that we could turn on.
Mhm.
But that was also disabled after that. Like right after that scene, it was disabled because the cop we did a felony, right? We did a felony. Well, 2 of my Civ ones did a felony, and they got away.
Mhm.
And we got to our location, which was far out of the way. This was at Catfish. This was Catfish. There was no way that the cops could have found us. Randomly, while we're setting up for the other 2 Civ ones to do their felony, we get rolled up on by the cadet with the AR, and like every single cop in the game rolled up there, which was kind of unlegit because I was changing my outfit around, like switching my outfit as they're like trying to cuff me. And I'm like, we were out of where we were trying to RP. Like, what the hell? They get every single person into a cop car. I guarantee you, but I could also be wrong, but I guarantee you one of those cops had blips on and knew where we were. Because there was no way that they could find us. So, you know the road past the lighthouse that just you keep going straight?
Mhm.
Catfish? Yeah. That bridge and that over past the metal bridge and all of that, like those 2 houses we were hiding out because that's where the mafia's hangout was.
Yeah.
And we all got freaking we were all detained, and then freaking all interrogated. Oh, well, who was flying the plane? We saw the plane land here, and just giving us more excuses.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
when Bradley or whatever was I think I was a part of this, to be honest. It was I just got done in a traffic stop with Firebomb, and he's like, I think someone just robbed the fucking Yellowjack. I'm like, huh? And then I heard a shot pop off over there, and then I see 2 of the mafia cars pulling out. So I'm like, that's gotta be them. I light them up, and then the car in front just floors it down the fucking panorama. So I'm like, oh shit, they did something. So I chased them, started a fucking pursuit on them. They ended up going over to Calafia, making some jump, landing in the water, and swimming out to a plane, and flying over towards the lighthouse. That's and then I got off after that. It was
Well,
a little weird.
I just don't
but
feel like it was kind of unlegit in how they found us.
Yeah.
Because we were completely away from everyone. We didn't even land at the lighthouse. We landed past that, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. Then the cadet that thought, he was a high-ranking officer got into an argument with Nuclear. Was like, "What's your rank? Why do you think you really lead everything?" And he was like trying to freaking search the house without a warrant, and he was trying to call it, well, this person here that has a warrant out for their arrest is here, so we're gonna search the house. And I was like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Even I know that. Even I know that.
I heard about that after the fact, and so he was really, after he was talked to about it, and he got real mad after that and shit, and like, man, it's just common sense.
I was like, yeah, you can't really search a house just because the person that is there that has a warrant. They're like, no, that's not right. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, after that, we all get let go except the one person that had the warrant.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were all let out, and one of the cops had their lights on, like lights and sirens, and apparently he was behind me, even though another Camaro was behind me. So I don't know what happened, but this was a BCSO officer. He pulls me over, and everything is legit in the CAD and everything, right? Everything, I got everything set up and everything.
Yeah.
My gun, everything. So, I get pulled over, and they're like, oh, well, we were trying to light you up back there. Why didn't you stop? And I'm like, I heard multiple sirens, lights and sirens. I don't know. I didn't tell if you guys were pulling me over. I thought you were pulling over the Camaro behind me. Like, no, I was trying to pull you over. And I'm like, well, you should have got behind me. And he was like, I was. And I was like, no, you weren't. You were behind the other one that just pulled off. And he was like, well, whatever. Give me your license, registration, proof of insurance. So I did. I gave him my name. And I made sure that my name and everything was registered in the CAD because I have a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
And his CAD was messing up that day. Or was glitched out. Because it came back with nothing in my name. Nothing was in my name.
Oh. That's
And
amazing.
I was like, well, that's completely wrong. And I even DM'd him. And I was like, dude, everything's here. You want a picture? And he kept going with the scene. I was like, bro, what? You're gonna try to get me for you're trying to give me a felony because your CAD messed up.
Yeah.
Like, I was genuinely mad, and I was like, dude, I had a really good scene planned out for y'all, and you are gonna ruin it for you guys. I'm like, okay, ruin it. Give me a felony. And he was like, well, you don't have a driver's license, you don't have a firearms license, and your vehicle's not registered. And I was like, well, one, I went to the DMV and got everything registered. One, I went to the gun store and got everything registered for that. I have a valid license. You can see it right here. And he just kept going on saying that it wasn't. So I'm like, well, your CAD's... And I was like, I kept DMing, dude, your CAD's messed up. Because I took a screenshot and I was like, look, everything here is legit. And he kept going, and he didn't give me the felony because I tried to explain. I was like, dude, there's something going on your end because nothing's going on here. And I was like, what? I even had another cop look it up, and they're like, yeah, everything's here. But he still went on with it, which got me mad. I was like, you're going to give me a felony for this. I was like, cool, give me a felony. So you're going to get your ass reported for that, but, give me it. He gave me a misdemeanor for not having a registered firearm. I was like, whatever. And then I went on with my day after that, but, like, that's another bad scene. That's, like, basically my bad scene combined with the two scenes because it was stupid because they were trying to get me for something because their CAD was messed up. But that's just basically to sum it up for me. Anyone can go now, I guess. I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. It was bad on their end because it just was like, really, you're going to continue a scene because your CAD's messed up and you're going to get me for that? I was like, really? Nice.
I T-boned the fuck out of an ambulance with a Sand King and killed 3 people.
Oh god.
But they were coming back from a scene, and I was going like 100 down East Joshua. You know the Joshua and Panorama intersection.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I thought, I'm gonna try and beat the ambo. He comes flying. He didn't stop, mind, at the intersection, which is what you're meant to do. He didn't stop. I just donked him. Right, the ambulance rolled over like 3 times, and then like it was Grievous, Sheriff, fucking Frosty. They all showed up in like a rescue ambulance, fire truck, all that shit, and they all died inside of the ambulance. And my car, I was like, uh-oh. So I took off on foot, and then I started running, and I was like, yeah, I'm not letting this character fucking go to jail for that. So I stole a car, like just a normal AI car that I could drive, and took off into a 1080.
This was on the Xbox server, correct?
Yeah, this is on the Xbox server. And then I took off into a 1080. And then I'm coming around the corner, and then the ambo is coming around the corner at the same time, and I fucking head-on collision with the ambo again. So I
Motherfucker.
crashed into 2 ambulances in basically in the same scene, and then my character died on that scene because he went fly. I roleplayed that he went flying out the window, and just ricocheted off the light bar, and like broke his ribs and broke his neck and all that shit.
What the hell?
That's probably one of the worst scenes I've had because it wasn't coordinated or anything. It just all just happened.
See, those are the types of scenes that I get pissed off on. I remember. I'm sorry to cut you off, Elliot, but I remember on my birthday of 2020, I didn't expect my main character to die, but I was role playing as my Casey's highway clearance guy, and I was role playing as roadside assistant. I was just going as roadside assistants, and these 2 new civs that literally just joined that day were asking for help with their car because their car broke down, and my car was across the street at the Los Angeles Customs on 68. I looked both ways to cross the street, and next thing I know, I looked back to my right, and I just seen a semi truck hurling like 50, 60, 70 miles an hour down the street, and it rails me. And it crushes my character, and I had to play it out, and I was pissed. And I was like, I knew who did it too, but
Oh, it was an actual person.
it was an actual person.
Oh. It's even worse.
And their excuse was, well, I didn't want to hit the Supra, I wanted to hit the AI, and he thought I was AI. Which is kind of messed up, but it also, it sucked, because that was my main character that I had from day 1 CVC, but... Lumberjack, you can go now.
Alright, well, I actually got like 2 of them. Oh, wait, actually, no, I got 1. The other one was something else. But, so this was my first time I was in CVC as a, on the LEO side. It was probably, 2019, 28, or 2020. I was on a ride-along, I was a cadet in the HP, so I was on a ride-along, with the lieutenant at the time, or no, he was a sergeant. It was, Tim Red.
Oh, I
So-
remember him.
Yeah.
I remember him.
So we ended up getting on a 1080. We start chasing the guy. He doesn't. We are on Panorama. All right, we're going northbound towards Joshua. We come up to the train tracks, and he doesn't slow down. He's still going 120, and then we just go airborne, land on the ground, fucking flip the car 3 times, and end up in the middle of the road upside down. We call for 1099, or he calls for 1099 backup. I'm sitting there unconscious, knocked the fuck out, almost dead. And then next thing I know, the 1080 wraps around, fucking goes back up Panorama, makes a right onto fucking 68, comes back down to Joshua, and hits us going like 150. So next thing I know, the car's just spinning. We're now on the side of the road. Our car's flipped back right side up. I'm just dead. I'm out of the car at that point. Like, they pulled me out of the car to fucking do medical treatment on me. And then the car started coming, so they ran the fuck away. I was just laying there, get crushed by the fucking car, and ended up dying on my first fucking day.
Damn. Yeah, that actually kind of reminds me of my first time as a cop. I just finished my Code 5 training, right? And my 1011 training and my Code 5 training. So I passed both of those, so I was already eligible to get to because at the time you only needed 2 trainings to be trooper. This was back early 2020 before they changed their format. And I do those 2 trainings, and now I was eligible for trooper. And my first night after completing those 2 trainings, I was on this was during a statewide too, so back in the day. And I was on a ride along with Maddie, and we got a 1080 call over the radio down close to the docks. That was our area patrol, so it was like our area. And we got into it. I don't know who the civ was, but he was driving very, very, very badly. He kept crashing into shit. And we caught up to him. And then I get out of the car, and I went less lethal, and my trooper went lethal with the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, to wrap it up, the civ decides to shoot at me and kill my character, and then drive away in a freaking, I forgot what it was, like one of those older freaking rusted freaking cars, and then got away because the trooper had to tend to me,
Yeah.
and no one else was around. So that was my first RP too, like back in like my first statewide.
Damn.
That's just big oof.
Yeah, it was. I think it was you, Tesco. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Probably wasn't.
I don't know.
Fucking
Wait,
Tesco
what
got him
server?
killed.
Well, I think that we've talked about everything that we've talked about and wanted to discuss today. I mean, with a couple of added-on stuff too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Fucking 5M is 5M.
Yeah, 5M
Yeah.
is 5M.
Our
I mean,
experience is
long
our
live-
experience.
I'll never go back to
Long-
Xbox RP.
To where?
long live
To
CBC,
Xbox
I
RP?
guess.
Xbox RP, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. I don't even own an Xbox anymore, if I'm being honest with you.
I do.
Um,
I still do. I just have no idea where it is.
Imagine.
I want to get one, but I don't know. I'm not happy.
I don't
with
think.
that.
I don't think you want to go back to 60 frames a second.
I might get it just to play Madden and stuff, but
Yeah, I want to go back to playing Daisy unless I get it on my PC.
You can get it on your PC. I think. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I had it for free. Pardon me, because most of my friends played it, so I bought it on my Xbox.
Yeah.
And then,
I think it's
Yeah.
free on PC if I'm mistaken.
nah, it's not.
I know a lot of console games that are freaking expensive on console are free on PC. It's kind of funny.
oh no, but honestly, I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that wraps it up today for
Yeah, man.
episode 1.
My man, episode 1. Fucking No Name Podcast,
Thank
man.
you guys. Yep. No
Yeah.
Name Podcast.
No name.
What?
Has no name.
No name.
No name. Anonymous, apparently. For until now, maybe. No.
Yep.